You want to know what my drawer of shame is? This makes me happy. This is way more than I expected I would end up with after just an hour's worth of work.
A palace of gold, gold, gold. A palace of gold, 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 gold.
Hey everyone, I am so glad you stopped by my channel for today's video, which is a very special episode of my Messy to Minimal series. I've been doing this series for over a year now, where I have shared extreme declutters through every nook and cranny of this house. And in the end, my husband and I were able to get rid of over 80% of our stuff. Today, I am doing an entire house declutter with me video. I've done one of these before, but this time I'm taking a bit of a different spin on things, and I'm giving myself only 1 hour to get my entire house decluttered. It doesn't have to take 6, 8, 12 hours, an entire weekend to go through your house and effectively get rid of things. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my best tips for decluttering your house as quick as possible. These tips can be applied to anyone in any stage of life. In the description box, I will link the playlist of all of my other Messy to Minimal episodes if you want even more extreme decluttering motivation. If you have seen some of the other episodes in that series, drop this emoji in the comments so I can say a quick hello to you. But right now, we are going to roll up our sleeves. I'd love it if you would do some decluttering with me, and let's get started. I'm gonna start right here and say one of the biggest things that has helped me do quick declutters is to ignore the mess. Because let's face it, life happens. And this is one of the things that I have learned about a decluttering day is it's not necessarily a cleaning day. It's not necessarily a reorganization day or make my house look Pinterest perfect day. It is a day where my goal is to go through the rooms of my house and the drawers and the closets of my house and find as many things that I can as quickly as I can that need to go. I think one of the biggest excuses that we use for not getting up and decluttering is when my house is clean, or when I'm more on top of the housework, or when I have a regular cleaning schedule, that's when I'll start decluttering. But I'm telling you, less stuff in your house actually makes those chores and housework go smoother. So ignore the mess and get on with the decluttering. Okay, so we are starting this 1 hour whole house declutter here in my kids' rooms. This is my twin 6-year-old boy's bedroom. They sleep and play in here. Their little sister comes in here and plays with them. And this cube unit is where we store the majority of their toys. We just categorize their toys into these drawers. They do get mixed up, but today is not the day to reorganize everything or dump out every bin and go through every little knickknack and bit and piece. Today, to declutter as fast as possible, and something that I've learned is to grab just the obvious clutter. Obvious clutter to me is anything that's actual garbage, like bits of paper and random things or wrappers or whatever in there. Broken toys, toys they've outgrown or don't want to play with anymore, toys I don't want them to play with anymore, obnoxious noisy toys, I'm looking at you. Today is not the day to color code their Lego bricks or to wipe everything down or vacuum out the bottom of the bins. Today is the day to find as much as we can, as quickly as we can, and get it out. Stop myself here. I'm starting to rearrange and categorize their books. This does not need to be done right now. Stop it, Natalie. Just like I did with the toys, I'm doing a quick declutter here in the closet. I'm not dumping everything out and going through each and every item. I'm not lifting it up and seeing if it sparks joy. I'm taking pants with holes in the knees, getting them out of here or converting them to play clothes, finding things in here that are just too small, a couple things that are probably dirty that they accidentally put back into their, or on purpose, put back into their drawers and going from there. I'm gonna do this super fast. I've only been filming for 4 minutes, and this is the last step in their bedroom, and I've already found a bunch of stuff to part with, so I think we're doing pretty good. This is a dress of Haley's. This doesn't even belong in here, and it has an oil stain, so into the laundry it goes. Okay, looking good in the closet. I have a pile of stuff that I found in the 8 minutes I did this. I found this much stuff in 8 minutes. Granted, some of it is like orange peels, but a lot of it is clothing and toys. I'm gonna bag this stuff up. Some of it's donatable, some of it is just garbage. I found a few things for my daughter Haley's room that belong in there, as well as just a couple of pieces of dirty clothing. Something else that has really helped me declutter quickly and not spend a ton of time on stuff is a mindset shift. And you've probably heard it before. This is not original to me, but I wanted to share it with you. It is progress over perfection. 8 minutes spent putting together this much stuff to get out of our house is 8 minutes that I made progress. Is it perfect? No. Did I make progress? Absolutely. That's 8 minutes well spent. But if I'm being realistic, I have a feeling that my daughter's room is going to take me twice that time. We shall see. Right now I actually have to go pick up my kids from school. I'm pausing my hour timer with those 8 minutes taken off from what it took me to do the boys' bedroom, and I will be back with the kids. Haley might join me for part of this, and we'll tackle her bedroom next. So I made the mistake of not throwing this stuff into a black trash bag before I left. They ran into their bedrooms after they came home from school, and all of a sudden this pile of stuff is their favorite things in the whole wide world. My kids are just like your kids. They sometimes have a hard time parting with stuff, but we've gone through this process so many times that I'll remind them of the principles that I've taught them along the way, and yeah, they'll pull a couple things back out and say, no, I really want to keep this, and I respect that. So I'm going to take the stuff that is here and put it in a bag. They did take a couple of things out, but that's okay. Okay, we're restarting the timer from where we left off, and we are now in Haley's room. By the way, I am pausing my timer when I talk to the camera. It takes me 20 to 50% longer to do a project if I'm filming it than if I just don't have a camera and I'm just doing it in my everyday life. Just in case some of you numbers people were wondering about that. So this is probably gonna end up taking me an hour and a half or 2 hours, but that's okay. So I get questions all the time about how to declutter with kids, especially with their own stuff. Do you have them join you, or do you do it when they're not there? I do a combination of both methods. I think it's super important to teach kids these skills of learning to make decisions, learning that we can't keep everything in the world, learning to be really appreciative of our stuff, but also be able to let it go. But in certain seasons, teaching them those things isn't more important than just actually getting rid of stuff. So like I said, I do try to respect them as much as possible, but I am the parent, and a lot of these decisions ultimately do fall to me. So I like to bring them in on the process, kind of like you're seeing me do with Haley here, and she was helping me make some of these decisions, and other times I just do it on my own and make the executive decision because it's ultimately my call. Okay, we have a tidy little pile of stuff from Haley's room that needs to go. This doesn't even turn on anymore, so why would we keep it? And if we're getting rid of that, we might as well get rid of the case. I'm gonna bundle this all up and get it where it needs to go, and then move on to the living room. So I'm in the kids' bathroom here before I head to the living room. I forgot, I probably need to just take a quick look through here. I did recently do a big declutter in here. That's a couple videos ago. In their little medicine cabinet, yeah, this is the empty one, so I can take that one out. They didn't throw away the empty one when they got the new one out. So there's that. Trash needs to be taken out. There are smudges and toothpaste on the mirror, but it's not a cleaning day. That has nothing to do with decluttering. Let's look under here. Under the cabinet's looking fine too. Again, I did just recently go through everything here just a couple of weeks ago. Oh, that's empty. I can take that out. So we have a grand total of a tube of toothpaste and an empty bottle of cleaner to take out of here. That was worth the 40 seconds it took to go through everything. Okay, so we're in the main living area. So I'm gonna start in this room first with the linen closet. We're gonna move into the entry closet and then look around at our TV unit here to see if there's anything extra on it, anything that I can immediately take out to manage my time and help keep me on track and help me not get distracted by every little piece. I will set timers. It seems like a very simple concept, but I didn't learn it until just this last year that giving myself a time limit really motivates me to get it done within that time limit. A little life hack for you guys for timers is to, yes, use your Echo, use your watch, use your phone, or your traditional egg timer to give yourself that time slot. But you can also use other natural timers that are already in your day that can help you stay focused in that moment. So if I am cooking a batch of cookies or something and I already have a timer set there, I will challenge myself, I'm gonna get XYZ done before the cookies are done. Or I use podcast episodes or a YouTube video if I'm listening to that with my little earbud. So you can use this video as a timer for the rest of what I'm sharing with you today. And if you want even more motivation for decluttering your house or more timers as you are working, then check out the playlist that I have linked in my description box. Myself and over 20 other YouTubers are doing this big collab where we are sharing with you a whole house declutter with me sort of video. It is part of the Mega March Motivation playlist, and that is linked in the description box. And thanks so much to Dawn from The Minimal Mom for asking me to be a part of this. I was in her Clutter-Free January playlist back in January, and that was so much fun. And if you are new because you've been watching the other videos in the Mega March Motivation collab playlist, then welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Let's use the rest of this video as a timer to see how much you can get done while we work together. This makes me happy. I don't know about you. This doesn't make me feel like I don't have enough stuff. This makes me feel like I have found the perfect number of stuff. When there's one extra added to the stuff that I use on a weekly or daily basis, that makes me really happy. So we have a throw pillowcase that I never use. We have a hand towel that is just extra that we don't need. A couple of little washcloths that we don't need that are extra. And then I have a sheet set for each of the boys' beds. So I get questions all the time asking, how many bed linens do I actually need? This can be tricky because when you have kids, or if you have bedwetters, or if you have other things going on, sometimes we feel like we need to hold on to more options just in case. For us, we've learned that we need one alternate sheet set per size of bed in our house. So for our king size bed, we need one alternate king size sheet set. We have 3 twin beds, but we only need one alternate twin bed sheet set to go on that bed if we do have like a sickness or a bedwetting or like a kind of messy sort of situation. But typically, because I do laundry every day or every other day at the very least, it's super easy to turn over that laundry and get it clean and back on the beds before they're in there for bedtime at night. It might be a little bit different if you have kids who nap. My kids only sleep once per day, and that's at night. So do what works best for your family, but these 2 jersey sheet sets are just extra for what we need. I add this to our growing pile of stuff to declutter out. You guys have seen me declutter this little book and puzzle and toy station before. I'm gonna just pop in here really quick and grab some things off the top. This is bothering me so much that it's all jumbled. That's frustrating, but again, we're not reorganizing, we're just grabbing things to go. So let's see what we can find in here. This is where we keep wooden train tracks and like the trains that go with them. There are a couple of things in here that don't belong, like these Hot Wheels. So I can grab those really quick and toss them over there, and I'll have the boys put those back in their room. This is something that I'm making an executive decision on, one of those gifts from a grandparent on Christmas that isn't really a good fit for our house. This flings around and it's broken stuff. The kids love it, but it's not a good fit for us. Some easy clutter. This is their little magnet tiles that goes in the boys' room as well. This is a little book we don't need. This book can go up here. That to your room, thank you. I think that's everything in there. I found Tigger. He goes on this puzzle that my sister Sarah gave me, and it looks like the only piece we have left is actually the Tigger piece. I love these puzzles so much. We have this little puzzle rack. This is from Melissa and Doug. I am just gonna quickly grab the ones that my kids just don't use anymore. I love Winnie the Pooh. That makes me kind of sad, but again, not getting emotions involved. And then I think I'll offer this rack to my mom. I know she has some wooden puzzles in her little playroom that she has for the kids. Sometimes I have to make myself a little separate pile for stuff that I'm offering to family and friends. These linens, by the way, I always give to animal shelters because they can really use towels and bed sheets and linens and stuff for the animals that they take care of there. Just a side note. On to the entry closet, which is our coat closet. We have games up at the top. We have some like winter gear stored up at the top, and then we have a little organizer for our shoes. We also store our vacuum in here as well. Multi-purpose. When you have a small house, it's what you gotta do. When I decluttered this closet before, I didn't know what winter coats or vests or whatever that I would end up wearing, but I have stuck with 2 or 3 of them, and the rest I just haven't touched in months. So that's why they're here in this pile, along with a bunch of shoes that my kids have outgrown. Their feet grew recently, and so we had to get a new round of shoes. Shoes are going in one bag, coats are going in another, and then I'm just gonna go pop into this TV unit and see if there's anything I can grab really quickly. That looks better. So moving on to the kitchen, this is actually the spot in my house that is top priority for me to have like regular daily little declutters. So I probably won't find too much in here. Let me know what spot in your house is your top priority for keeping decluttered or organized. For me, it's definitely the kitchen, but I probably will find a couple of spots. Let's start here with the utensil drawer. Have a good collection of stuff in here. I'm gonna move on to the cabinet here. So I was definitely starting to get a bit chatty while I was decluttering the kitchen, and so I'm just speeding up this footage for you guys here and narrating what I'm doing. Basically, I was explaining that one of the catch-alls in our kitchen is our collection of lids for cups. We always end up having way too many, more than we use, and so I was able to find a few there. And then I moved on to our cooking utensils crock here by the stove, where we seem to acquire more than we actually use on a daily basis. And here's a reminder for you guys, if you buy a set of something, you don't have to keep every single piece. Just hold on to the ones ones that you actually use. We got this set on Amazon, but it definitely came with some extra stuff that we're able to pass on to family and friends or donate, and someone could use it better than we could. Is done, and what's on the dining room table is food stuff for my kids from their snacks and lunches and endless eating. So for a room that I declutter every day, like I was telling you, I ended up with a full box of stuff to get rid of. So, and that wasn't doing a deep dive declutter. That was just grabbing the stuff that I know I don't use right off the top.
Love should be easy. Why should it not? When all you want is to be loved, is to be loved.
So as you can see, I'm moving on to our homeschool area, this shelving unit. I have a cube unit here. It needed some straightening up. I did recently go through the cube unit drawers because I replaced all of these drawers. So I did a deeper declutter just a couple of weeks ago, but I still was able to find a few things, dried up pens, broken crayons, pieces of paper, stuff that we needed to get rid of. If you're curious about my system for paper clutter, then I will link a video that I did last month in the description box for you guys, where I showed my entire system, not just for kids paper clutter, but also for business papers, mail that we get. I share some tips and tricks with you guys to help you keep your paper clutter free. So far, I've done 40 minutes worth of decluttering. 8 minutes in the boys' room, 12 minutes in Haley's room, 10 minutes in the living area, and then 10 minutes to do the kitchen as well as the homeschooling area. We have 20 minutes left with our 60 minutes that we're using to declutter. So I'm going to spend 10 minutes in here. Washer and dryer gets a little messy, but that's just kind of stuff in the wrong place. And my pantry gets a little bit messy. So I'm going to do as much decluttering as I can without being tempted to wipe stuff down and vacuum and do all of like the cleaning and beautifying. So we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna close out the last 10 minutes with work on my bedroom. A couple things in my closet need to go. And then I need to quickly like tidy up my bathroom.
Can someone help me to find love again? 'Cause all I want is to be loved, is to be loved. Can someone free me from all my doubts? Feels like a prison, I want out, now I want out.
Sometimes decluttering is about finding the stuff that you don't use anymore and need to get rid of, and sometimes it's about finding the stuff that is simply in the wrong place. For my laundry room pantry, that seems to be the case now that we've really pared down our collection and have gotten rid of a lot of the food stuff and cleaning supplies that we weren't using regularly enough to justify keeping. So a lot of what I'm doing in here is putting things back where they go because we were too lazy to do that in the first place, and finding some garbage items, old packaging, stuff that needs to be bundled up and taken to the recycling.
You left behind, you left behind, you left behind.
Looking much better. Ended up finding a couple of things that need to go. Alexa, how long is left on my timer?
You have 1 minute and 40 seconds
Sweet.
left on your 10-minute timer.
1 minute and 40 seconds left. I'm gonna add that to my time that I'm working on this space, and then I think I'm gonna call it a day.
You left behind. So now I wrote a song about us, with tears running down my face.
So it only took me 3 minutes to do a quick scan through my accessories, the drawers of my dresser, as well as my hanging clothes, and I ended up finding a good little bundle of things to declutter out. But I do have a full closet clean out video planned for the springtime, so definitely stay tuned for that.
You left behind.
You want to know what my decluttering minimalist drawer of shame is? this top desk drawer. I had it organized at one point and it's just become the catch-all for random stuff that I want to clear off my desk that I don't have another spot for. I just throw it in there. I'm just like you. We all have those spots. And this is probably a project in and of itself for another time. However, this is another tip that I have for you guys. When you're looking at something that feels super overwhelming and you know that day you can't take care of the whole thing and have like this beautiful before and after like you see in YouTube videos, you can still do yourself a favor and spend a few seconds grabbing some obvious garbage, grabbing some obvious things that you don't need anymore that you can just declutter right out of there. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. And then with the last few minutes, I'm gonna tidy up the bathroom. Into the bathroom we go on the last stop on this little decluttering train today. So I have products on the counter. I have some dirt on the counter that spilled out of my cactus. I didn't put my makeup away like I'm supposed to. I decluttered this whole bathroom and actually reorganized it in a recent Get It All Done With Me video. I will link that in the description box for you guys. That's why this bathroom is actually pretty clutter free right now, but I'm sure there's some things that I can just quickly pull out of here that's kind of a duh. That's a duh. That doesn't belong in here. Okay, that goes. I used to transfer our mouthwash into this glass bottle because I stored it on my open shelves and I didn't like the packaging of the mouthwash that we like. But now that we have this cabinet in here and I can actually fit taller bottles into it, I can hide it away and the packaging isn't a problem. So now I have a glass bottle in my bathroom that I don't use. So I'm going to add this pile that has been growing in my bedroom from the stuff in here and the stuff in the bathroom to the pile that's growing out in the living room. It always amazes me how much stuff I find, even when I think, it'll just be a couple of items. Like, look at this. I have a little pile of stuff for my mom, a few nice clothing items that I found that would fit her, that she might like, that puzzle rack, of course, and then I have a bag for donations, clothing, a bag for other things that are donations, a couple of garbage bags, a box of garbage and stuff. I need to put that in a donation bag, actually. You guys, this is way more than I expected I would end up with after just an hour's worth of work. When I get rid of stuff, I just feel like I and my house can take this sigh of relief, as if a weight has been lifted. I mean, in a literal way, some weight has been lifted, but also in a figurative way. It's definitely feeling much better in here, even though I have crumbs everywhere. I have fingerprints on every surface. Dinner has to be made. My kids need to be bathed. The kids already started destroying their bedroom while I was working in another part of the house, but that's how it goes. And the crumbs and the fingerprints and the messes don't take away from the fact that this much stuff no longer belongs to us and I no longer have to manage it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for coming along with me while I did a super quick whole house declutter with me. It doesn't have to take you 6 to 12 hours to get more progress done in your house when it comes to simplifying and decluttering. And I hope this video provided that encouragement for you today. Thanks so much for coming along with me and doing some decluttering with me. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Subscribe, turn that bell button on so you don't miss future videos from me. Check out all the other people in this Mega March Motivation playlist, as well as my Messy to Minimal series that I have done on this channel if you're looking for some more decluttering and minimalism inspiration. Thanks so much for spending a little part of your day here with me on my channel, and I'll catch you later.